Welcome to Boys in the Hood TV. Today we're going to be discussing the life of a 14-year-old neighborhood Crip named Hoodsta Woody. Now, DeQuinte Hunt was born in 1993 in South Central Los Angeles. Now, he'll be raised by his mother in a section controlled by the neighborhood Crips. Now, the block he lived on was the home of the 111 neighborhoods. Now, although this set is a smaller hood, they are known to be extremely active and known to go to war with anybody. Now, the 111s and the 11-5s are extremely close, and together they go by the 111-5s. Now, they are part of a larger alliance known as the Rolling Hundreds, which include multiple other Crip sets like the Blocks, 10-4 Hard Time Hustlers, Bud Longs, and others. Now, the neighborhoods, they beef with the Hoovers, Bloods, and many other hoods. Now, although under one umbrella with the Rolling Hundreds, there's been a known beef between the 111-5s and the Block Crips. But inner beef is nothing new when it comes to gangbanger. Now, Hunt was a fun-loving, happy, intelligent kid that was really close to his family. Growing up, he was inspired to be a police officer because he wanted to patrol his neighborhood. Now, like most kids, he loved to play outside with his friends in the neighborhood. But growing up in his neighborhood, he would see a lot at a very early age. And children are naturally curious when it comes to things. And by Hunt's teen years, the lure of gangbanging would draw him in. Now, another teen who was a friend of his named Junebug was from 111, and he would introduce Hunt to the gangbanger life. And eventually, Hunt would get put on to the neighborhood Crips. Now, he would be given the nickname Hoodsta Woody. Now, still being a teen, he was extremely impressionable, and this would lead to him diving headfirst into the streets, repping his hood. Now, according to a lot of his peers, he didn't just get the name Woody for no reason. It was said that on the first day of middle school, Woody was one of the only kids to bring a pistol tucked in his backpack. It was said that he was fearless and extremely wild and not afraid to fight anyone, which included adults. It was said that Woody would punch on a lot of dudes over the age of 18. But not only would he run fades, he wasn't afraid to check older members about their cripping. Now, Woody would be fully invested into the streets, and there was nothing anyone could tell him, which included his own family. Now, by the mid-2000s, gangbanger-related homicides were down compared to the previous years. Now, at the time, LA recorded a record low of 400 homicides. But still, people in the South Central were losing their lives on a daily basis. But regardless, Woody family were worried about his life because at any time, he could become another statistic. Now, the Rolling Hundreds were entrenched with a lot of beef with a lot of different hoods. During the 2000s, the neighborhoods would lose a lot of homies like J-Rock, J-Bone Deuce, Baby Brains, and Black Ant. A lot of reputable members were gone too soon, but sadly for 14-year-old Woody death will come knocking for him next. On October 11, 2007, a party was being thrown in Compton by the Southside Compton Crips. Now, the 111-5 neighborhoods would be in attendance at this party, which included Woody and a lot of his homies. There were a lot of people in attendance at this party, nearly 200 people, which included a lot of allied Crip sets. Now, the party would go off without a hitch, but as the night dwindled down, everyone would start to head outside. Woody and his homies from neighborhoods would also be outside talking. But like any party, there's always guaranteed to be some drama. Now, while everybody is standing around talking, an argument would break out amongst a few gang members. Now, which particular hoods it was is unclear, but a fight would break out, and moments later, shots would start ringing out. As the crowd took off and dispersed, shots continued, and 3 people will be critically wounded. 14-year-old Woody will be one of the 3 found laying on the ground. Now, the neighbors would call 911, and by the time police arrived, there was not one witness or anybody else in sight except Woody and the 2 other victims, all suffering from gunshot wounds. Now, the police would find Woody laying in the grass. Now, while waiting for EMTs arrive, they would discover a gun in Woody pocket. Once EMTs arrived, they would transport all 3 victims to the hospital shortly after. The first victim, 26-year-old Andre Turner, sadly would die from his injuries. The second victim would remain in critical but stable condition. Now, Woody will be rushed into emergency surgery, but sadly, 8 hours later, at around 2:30 a.m., Woody would die from his injuries. Now, as of today, this double homicide still remains unsolved. I would like to thank everybody for tapping in, and I'll see y'all next time.